It's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hello, Mariam Longe. How are you?
I'm fine.
How was your weekend?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So for me, it's been a long weekend. I was home mostly, and I had to see my mom off after spending so much time with us.
How many months did she stay?
I don't know. I wasn't counting. I told her she just spent 2 weeks, as far as I'm concerned. So we're very unhappy to see her go, but she'll come back. But, you know, we had a good time. It's really nice to have that time to spend with family. But then I was just thinking that airfares have gone up. So traveling interstate, which used to be much easier, it's a lot more expensive now. And I just can't imagine for many families what they're going through. Then imagine those who have to travel outside the country to go and see family members. So as much as we can, just appreciate the times that we were spending
Our
together.
family wanted to go to the US and they were saying 1.5, 1.8, and she's thinking,
for what?
For what? How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very grateful to God. Still talking about appreciating parents. Today is my dad's birthday. 70.
Wow.
Yes, and
That's a big age.
Yes, it is. I'm going straight to the house after I leave the show.
Shut down today, no work, just
no work.
straight to
I'm truly being grateful. So we did a photo shoot yesterday for him, and
that's
I
so
saw,
cute.
you know, like him with my husband was just struggling to take a picture. I want to be alone with daddy. I want to be alone with daddy. I'm like, okay, then he took a picture with the men, like the four of them, and I'm like, my dad had just one daughter, you know,
the four of them?
my children, you know. But they are men, you know. And for many years, every time I celebrate my dad's birthday and my mom's birthday, I always just reflect on it that for many years growing up, they made it look like they had not done enough because they had just one child, and it was like, oh, just one, you know, just one, like. One child isn't enough, and at the end of the day, you'll be all right. You know, give it 10, 15 years, 30 years.
invest in that child and
You'll be all right.
And look at how many children
you have three. You have one daughter, you have 3 boys, you know, and I think that anyone that is having a child right now and looking at maybe secondary infertility and feeling like I should do anything to have a child, just be grateful you have one. And even if you have none, adopt one and love that one. Like, God can make 1 into a million for you, and I pray that will be your testimony.
Okay, I'll definitely watch it today.
Yeah,
I'll give you
please
feedback.
do. Yeah.
But please don't say Nigeria happened to us, because me, I want to change that narrative. Good things happen to
Of
us.
course, good things
Nigeria
happen
too.
to me,
So
but this one, Nigeria happened to me.
It didn't quite work out.
Yeah,
it didn't work out, yeah. So Nigeria didn't happen to you. Those bad people happen to you. Because I'm in Nigeria, and when Nigeria happens to me, it's a good thing.
news.
I'm going to.
Amen.
Yeah, what happened to me
Let's
this
change the
weekend?
narrative.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the paper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Starting with the nation. 2023, another attack on INEC offices raises concerns over polls. Despite in customs service as top officers seek tenure extension, NRC to enforce no NIN, no ticket on Abuja-Kaduna train, and troops kill 4 bandits. Federal government bans export of raw gold. Adeleke, I will strengthen security, boost workers' welfare. Tinubu, most experienced candidate, says Ayade. Azura targets 3,500 megawatts power generation. And Morocco's win over Belgium thrills Okocha. Okay, which story are we starting with?
We'll start with INEC. So there was another attack at the Independent National Electoral Commission office yesterday. This happened in Easy local government area in Ebonyi State, and this is like the third one in 3 weeks that is happening. So the IG of Police Inspector General of Police Alkali Usman has ordered police commissioners to fortify all facilities belonging to the commission across the states. They said they had, at the news conference November 11, the INEC chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, had put the number of INEC offices that have been attacked by hoodlums to about 50 offices. And he said the attack was also recorded in 21 states. So they are saying that this particular attack that happened in Ebonyi State happened about 10 a.m. and they were able to destroy 340 ballot boxes, 130 voting cubicles, 14 electric power generators, water storage tanks, assorted office furniture and fixtures, and they are yet to determine the amount of PVCs that were destroyed as well. So it's raising a lot of concern for individuals on the safety of the 2023 elections. But the police is on top of it. They are saying they are going to equip and surround most of their commissions across states.
Can we even know who these people are? Can we arrest them? Can we put them on TV and see their faces and lock them up?
Exactly. Let me take the story. The federal government has said they're banning the export of raw gold, gemstones, and other solid materials. According to them, they're releasing, according to the Mines and Steel Development Minister, Mr. Olalekan Adegbite, was saying that they've introduced something called the downstream mineral policy, which stops Nigerians or ensures the Nigerians that when you mine from Nigeria, you sell, you either process it yourself. If you cannot process it yourself, you sell to Nigerian processors who can therefore convert it to gold and then sell. They're planning to have something called the Kano Gold Souk, to have where they have people come from all over the world to come and buy gold there, and they're trying to enforce this. As I say, these are always great ideas, just like we saw with the anchor borers. Nigerians will still get the mining approval and still probably sell to international processors because they will get more money. So it's still about patriotism at some point, but I hope that they'll have policies to be able to stop this from happening.
Okay, so going forward, the Abuja-Kaduna train route will be open in about a week. That's what the Minister for Transportation, but as Usambo says, over the weekend he embarked on what they call an assessment of the rail tour. And it's been 8 months since the very sad incident of the attack and kidnapping of many of the passengers. Remember, some of them ransom had to be paid for them, and then the remaining were eventually rescued. And so going forward, to apply that, to get on a train, you have to have your NIN. So one NIN, one ticket. So one person cannot come and buy 15 tickets if there are no NIN numbers attached to the person. At the entrance, when you get to the station, your profile will come up. And if your profile does not come up, you cannot get on the train. There's also more security in the train. He says that most of them will also be in plain clothes, so you would not know. And he says there are other security measures that have been put in place that he cannot talk about. And there will no longer be night travel on that route, at least for now. And the train driver would be able to see, there will be a screen. First of all, at the station, they'll be able to see like the road, and then the train driver is able to see the ahead. They said quite a distance ahead, so that if there's something, if there's a threat that is approaching, he will be able to step on his brakes long before he gets to that. So it looks like they are putting a lot of things in place. He said there are still other issues that they would work on. And so it looks like they have
I was in the Lagos, the train that goes to Ibadan, and there were 2 police officers in the train. So I don't know when I saw that, but there may be other.
I didn't even see them.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to take the story from the Nigerian Customs Services. So there's a sort of disquiet. It seems like a subtle protest because a few officers have uncovered moves by senior officers. We're talking Deputy Controller General, Assistant Controller General, that are due for retirement after 35 years of service, have refused to go on pre-retirement leave. They are due for retirement in December 2022, and they're supposed to go for leave for 3 months before then. But many of them are still resuming in the office every day, claiming that they are indispensable to the service. So all people are saying, how would you be indispensable if you've been a good leader? You should have put in structure in place. He said, why will a public servant want to remain beyond 35 years in service? What other motive can be responsible for this other than selfish reasons? So they're calling on the president, they're calling on the president to step into it, and that about 4 to 15 people are refusing to step down. Now there's a circle of life. People are supposed to get old and then ease out so that younger people can move into power. I feel like it is wrong for anyone to get unfair extensions, especially when there are other people who have served to be at that position
But
as
it's
well.
statutory.
It's statutory, but we've seen within this administration some people getting extensions in their...
But this is not an extension. This is those people who come into work
They
and
refuse
refuse
to retire.
Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be...
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger,
Take it.
today we'll go here.
Hey, I don't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions. I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
Wait till your age.
I was close now.
Eh?
I said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75.
I covered.
Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half. I try.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Lights in no. Nepa Road. Nepa Road in Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It don't start.
Ọmọ ọmọ fẹlá ọmọ Anikulapo Kuti. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
you think you can outplay me in this game of wits and knowledge? Can you go 7 rounds without flinching? I meant answering 7 questions correctly. How well can you hold your liquor? If you're curious, then join us for the most exciting conversation and games with your favorite celebrities on 7 of 7.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on quickly to the punch. Fuel scarcity, NNPC petrol price without subsidy is 400 naira to the litre, says marketers. Adeleke versus Oyetola's appointment says action malicious. New governor started work today, Monday morning. Saudi-bound trafficker conceals cocaine in sandals. Election results nationwide. E-transmission possible, says telcos. Unitide NCDC warns of possible COVID-19 infection rise. POS fraud. How slack guidelines banks apathy cost Nigerians huge losses. And Punch wins newspaper of the year. 8 others at the NMMA. Okay, which story are we starting with?
DLEA have confirmed the arrest of a 56-year-old cocaine trafficker. His name is Lawa Oyenoga. He was caught trying to smuggle 400 grams of cocaine in a pair of palm slippers. He said he was recruited by a notorious kingpin called Wasiu Bolahan, and that this kingpin has also been arrested. He's been part of many of the smuggling that's been going on. A lot of the people that have been arrested, his name sort of comes on, so he has actually been on their radar, NDLEA's radar. And they said that this man says that he wanted to raise money for his daughter's exams. She's in SS3, and so that was why he decided to do this. How much? Okay. He said that was why he agreed to be a mule. And his arrest happened just a week after another 56-year-old widow was caught with cocaine as well. She had put it in her shoes and was traveling to Saudi. This particular kingpin that's been recruiting these mules, they said that most of the smuggling he does, his route is UAE, Saudi, Qatar and all those areas. He also said, this person that was arrested, he said that they actually gave him pellets to swallow because he couldn't do it, so they gave him another
option.
Another option.
It's in his slippers.
Let me take the major headlines. So the National Public Relations Officer of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Mr. Chief Ukadike Chinedu, has said that the NNP is currently finding it very tough to continue subsidizing PMS. According to them, the least that the NNPC can sell is 400 naira to the litre at depots because they can't continue the 145 naira to the litre because the subsidy obviously is overbearing on them, and all of them have been struggling to subsidize. According to them, that's why you see all the lapses that we're seeing where they have their queues in the trunks. The government is looking for dollars to import this product and pay the contractors importing the NNPC, and it's also trying to subsidize the POS at the same time. So the same issue we'll be talking about, the fact that from the mother vessel to the daughter vessel, and they're passing on the cost because according to them, they used to buy it at $38,000. Now they're having to buy it at $111,000. And of course, who's going to pay? They're going to trickle that cost down to us. So they're having meetings and they said if they're going to remove subsidy at all,
this has nothing to do with subsidy. This is just
400 naira to the dollar. Because it's not logistics. It's the fact that the value of the naira has obviously been reduced. So I cannot continue to subsidize. Because if the country is insisting on 145 naira to the PMS, it's not possible for the person importing it from NNPC. Now the mother vessel, big NNPC, but me, I'm going to bring it home. I need to be able to pay for it, and it's international rate I'm going to use. There's no Nigerian rate.
Hey.
So anyway, let's move on to another.
So the governor of Osun State, Ademola,
congratulations to him.
Inaugurated as the sixth governor of the state. Yes, he was inaugurated yesterday, and he went ahead to cancel some things. Sharp. So he announced an immediate return to the status quo of all fresh appointments, placements, and other major decisions taken by the past administration with effect from July 1st, 2017. 2022. So he said that there were mass employments that were carried out without budgetary provisions for them. They were struggling to pay salaries, and yet they kept, getting people into the system. There were various hurried and criminally backdated contracts which were awarded without budgetary provisions. So what he now said he's going to do, so he's appealed to the people of Osun State to be patient with him, that he wants to clean up the system, that he's going to be issuing some directives which will be backed up by the appropriate executive order very soon. And one of them is immediate freezing of all government financial institutions, immediate establishment of a panel to carry out an inventory and recover all of government assets, and also a panel to review the appointment that was given from July 17, 2022, and finally changing the name of the state back to Osun State and not the state of Osun, because that is not recognized in the constitution. Wish him all the best. So
I've been thinking of what the day one would look like today. They'll be dancing and
I think serious-minded human being.
Dancing does not mean we are not serious.
I don't know, this Monday
we will do praise and worship in that new office. Yes, we need to. That's our style. But I would like to take the previous. Like dancing. It should be a fun working environment. I want to take the previous administration though. Osun State former governor, now former governor Adegboyega Oyetola, in his closing remarks as he stepped down from being the governor, mentioned how well he's done. He said that he has left Osun State better than he met it in 2018. Said he has paid 97 billion naira out of the inherited debts, and that he didn't borrow a dime all through his 4 years. Wow. And I wanted to say that because he did those 4 years, people are not mentioning the good things. So we've taken the new governor, we mentioned the old governor. He didn't borrow money. We remember how the Osun State was struggling to pay salaries. And the debt they were on before he came into power. He said he didn't borrow to pay any salaries. He was able to manage the affairs of the state and put the state in better economic state. He also mentioned that he left 14 billion naira cash in the state coffers, and that the state government is expecting $72 million from other programs from the NG Care program from the federal government, among others. That is still coming into the coffers.
That, because before somebody starts telling you, oh, they did not do this, I'm telling you what I left.
Yes, I left money and I paid debt, and I did not incur any debt despite the economic hardship.
But this is Nigeria, where somebody will say, I left how many $billion? The other person say, which dollars did you leave? It was empty. So who is here to confirm when this is done? We also need someone, an independent party, to confirm this was left.
But at least I'm happy that
he gave his own account.
Seamless transition, and then he was able to give account of what is stewardship. Let's move on quickly now to Daily Sun. Power show at National Assembly. 2 clerks emerge as outgoing one refuses to vacate office. Fuel scarcity persists as filling stations ration product. Heaps of decayed naira found in refuse dump. Currency outside banks rose from 108 billion to 2.4 trillion in October. Imagine that. 2023 replaced Tinubu as presidential candidate, article tells APC. Again, women to occupy National Assembly to force lawmakers to represent the rejected gender bills. Abuja Kaduna train service to resume in 7 days. All drilling. Mistakes of Niger Delta won't repeat in North, says Gombe governor. How I sustained economy without borrowing in 4 years, says Oyetola. Governor Adeleke assumes office, pledges to correct injustices in Osun. And troops kill 4 bandits in Kaduna. Which story are we starting with in Sun?
Well, in the north, they now have oil, as we know. When they're talking as
oil producing.
Oil producing. So the new oil producing governor of Gombe State, the Gombe State governor, he was in an interview with BBC Hausa. He was just talking about the fact that now they're an oil-producing state, and they're also careful not to make the mistakes that has been made in the Niger Delta. He said that they're putting a lot of things into consideration. He says the Niger Delta were aware of the agitations of the host communities and how they felt that they were not properly compensated, or whatever was meant for them, funds that were meant for them never got to them, and so they are putting that into consideration to make sure that's not a mistake that they make. He talked about environmental degradation and so many other things, and he's just basically saying that we're learning from that and we will not repeat those mistakes here. I'm happy that this is the conversation that they're having now. So next stop is, what exactly would you be putting in place to make sure this does not occur again? We're talking of environmental degradation. We're talking about the host communities. What would the indigenous, what would the people who have lived in those particular areas that you're now taking out this crude oil from, what compensations would they get? What would the compensation look like when it comes to the education of their children, when it comes to hospital facilities? But anyway, he says that this is good news for them, of course, in the state, that this will bring them blessings and many developments in their state. And I wish them all the best.
So I want to take the story about young people shouldn't wait till they are 40 or 50 before they aspire to become leaders. It's from the Cardinal Onayekon. I want to take John Cardinal Onayekon, and he was speaking at Shaping the Future, organized by the Boys Champion in Enugu. He spoke about the fact that he doesn't understand the style of leadership we have now, where the truth is leaders should be servants, not that the people that gave them power should be serving them. He stressed the fact that we shouldn't wait until 40s or 50 before we start leading, that we can see that the leadership of the country isn't doing what they are meant to do, and people should aspire for leadership roles in the country. They should challenge those that are elected. Once they're elected to the office, insist leaders should be servants. Leaders, anybody that is leading should know that he's there to serve, and basically...
Okay, so we manifesto led by the country director, Action Aid Nigeria, NLB, will be occupying the National Assembly to flag off the activities of the 16th day of activism against gender-based violence to commemorate the 2022 theme, Unite, Activism to End Violence Against Women and Girls. And this is just to remind the National Assembly that they will never forget the wrong that was done to Nigerian women on March 1st, 2022. You can never forget the fact that gender bills were thrown out, and that we must represent those bills again in the coming assembly. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard, let's see the major headlines. Let's find a story we've not taken. We have identified 100 high-risk financiers of Boko Haram. You should have taken that story because I know you'll be looking for the financiers. Why petrol shortage worsens in Lagos or others. Sultan laments involvement in Fulani in banditry kidnapping. Why did the CJN actually say? What did the CGN actually say on the G5 in Port Harcourt? Stakeholders lodge Jimovia and others alumni building after the Ibidapo Obe and 2023 Atiku Obi attack Tinubu. Which story are we taking?
At the third ministerial conference on counter-terrorism financing with the theme No Money for Terror, which took place in India, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, said that the federal government has identified 100 high-risk financiers of Boko Haram, and that they have started... They did not give us the names. So they said the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, started that investigation from 2019, and they found these 100 persons who are supposedly connected, and said they are connected to like 10 different international countries outside where they are getting some of their funds from. And so they've commenced investigation. They have arrested a few of them, I think about 40-something of them, and prosecution will be happening. They are still on the tail of others. I would have loved that their names were published so that we are sure
security reasons,
and follow up with the prosecution. So now, how do we test that they were actually arrested and prosecuted?
You wouldn't even know the mention names. You know them. They're not your uncles.
It doesn't
What
matter.
we want is more security. We just want to be safer.
Let's go on a break. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, move on to our hot topic for the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome pioneer Positive Force member, dancing queen of the 80s, non-conformist, Afrobeat historian in her right, and long-standing member of the multiple award-winning all-female show Your View, Omoyeni Yeni Anikulapo Kuti, aka YK Power! Ginger!
Take it.
Today we'll go here.
Hey, I didn't read you.
Are you sure?
Ha. I'm not here to answer questions, I'm here to drink.
We're in trouble today.
What's your age?
I was close now.
I
said 1975.
He said 73. He said 75. Fellas wasn't even born till 75.
So will I drink half?
You go drink. Take. Make I help you. Russian.
No be half.
Which half? You will make me drink. I'll give you a hint.
Light Ino. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. Nepa Road. In Abeokuta.
First of all, my brain cannot memorize everything.
A big black bug.
A big black dog.
Bug. A big black bug.
Oh, sorry. A big.
It all starts.
Ọmọ fẹlá. Ọmọ Aníkúlá Pókùtì. Wọ́n rò pé kí ni kékeré yìí.
It's by Audison. It's not by Audison.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions with me. I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions with me. I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus Tony. Oh, thank you. See all the Lee Kuku things you do. They make me no. Who said this?
I'm going to every day closer. Girl, I want to make you closer.
Okay.
Upslayed in closer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun have you had on the show?
11, 10.
11?
10, yes.
11? Now we're going to terminate the show. Please, my producer, this is where we're cutting it. Cameraman, cut it. You don't cut. Okay, I'm just kidding.
The hottest music videos.
Check it out. Let's go.
Topping the charts. Right here on the Max World Chart Show.
Ikechukwu Sunday Okonkwo, aka Cross. Now your intro without
Wow.
So there's a name that's.
I'm just drinking because you say I should drink. There's no particular answer.
You think it's only that can be wicked?
What's the answer?
Subterfuge.
Eh?
Yeah. They claim you did, but you said it just happened.
And it's called what again?
subterfuge.
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 So you look me finish from head to toe. You look at a person who go know what to become subterfuge. Yeah.
Thanks for staying with us. So when we have a new governor, it's always important for us to discuss and to hear from members of their state to know what their expectations are. So today we're going to be talking about the new governor of Osun State, Governor Adeleke, and he assumed office today. And it would be great to understand what the people of Osun are expecting from their new governor, especially living for the fact that the outgoing governor, Governor Oyetola, has told us he has explained to us his stewardship, what he has done in the state, and the great job he's done so far, and how he has been able to not owe any debts and pay salaries and ensure that everybody, because I do know a few people who live in that state, and they can attest to the fact that they did get their pensions. And so what are your thoughts on this new governor, especially also considering the fact that he's an uncle to one of the biggest artists in Africa, and that there might be an influence of youth empowerment and growth in that state? What's the effect of Davido being a nephew of this new governor? Could that be a new attraction for young people to the state? What possibilities are there? What are the mineral resources in that state? Let us talk about Osun this morning. You can call us on the numbers on your screen: 081-270-536-8709-139-076-948. You can also tweet us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC Radio tweets. We would really like to hear from indigenes of Osun State this morning, from wherever you are in the world. Let us know your thoughts on this new governor and your expectations. Let me start with you, Tokwe.
So, I didn't think about the Davido factor and its impact at all, but I think that considering how vested Davido was in the campaign, it should mean that his uncle listens to him, and he'll be able to say, I pushed your campaign, and this is the kind of representation I would want for young people, the entertainment industry, and all of that within Osun State. I'm looking forward to how that will play out. But one of the things that fear me most when we have change in administration is the stall in governance. There is always a stall in governance when administration changes hands, especially between inter-party administration. So from APC to PDP, PDP to APC. The first thing is stopping all projects, reversing all decisions, investigating all that is going on, while people of the state are wondering, can we continue the good work that we're seeing? And I'm going to appeal to Governor Oyetola that, Governor Adeleke, that he should please, despite the fact that he has seen a lot of things that have been done wrong in the last administration, he should also train his eyes to see the good things in the last administration so that they can continue them. When people campaign, you know, in election season, they're campaigning in Lagos, every other party campaigning, and I'm a bit worried because we will be going to court. We will be stalling projects. We might stop projects. And I want to appeal to the new governor of Osun State, please, even while investigating newly awarded projects, don't stop old projects that are already ongoing that will benefit the people of your state. Don't let any seed of being vindictive or being angry with the system because you feel like your the last time you went towards this election, it was taken away from you, should stop you from letting continuation happen on the good things that are happening in that state.
The case is still in court. You know, there's still this election petition going on. We know that, but right now we have a sitting governor, and it's important for us to hear those. You know what are your thoughts as an outsider from looking into Osun State? What do you think? What are your thoughts on this new administration? What are your expectations? And what do you hope the governor will do?
Yes, so first of all, I want to say congratulations to Governor Adeleke. I wish him all the best in this new venture, if I would call it that. But when I was studying the papers this morning, I found that according to the papers, that they said the former governor was reluctant in submitting a transition note. So there was no proper handover done. And that was why he had to, first of all, give the directive to freeze the account and all the things he has stopped so that they would do a proper investigation. This is my advice. When you are going to be leaving office, let's understand that, the office itself, it's a job that you're there to do. It's not your father's house. It's not your personal property. You should hand over properly because you have the people at heart. You have the people in mind. You want good for the people. When you hand over properly, it helps the incoming governor or president or whoever to have an understanding of everything that you have done and find ways to build a continuum on those things that he feels can work. But when you leave it hanging, after all, let them come and stress themselves. You know what happens? They will put a stop to everything you have done. It's going to affect the lives of the people who are involved in those things, like these jobs now that they have given out to people. And he's putting a stop to it. A lot of people will stay at home without jobs. So everything affects other people. So let's not put ourselves, because I'm going now, you just go there and stress yourself, or I'm coming in now, you did not give me an opportunity before, and not think of the people we are meant to serve. So I would like Tope said, that he looks at those good things that this former governor has done and builds on it, and also tests the pulse of the people. I would love Osun people to call in to tell us, okay, when Governor Oyetola was there, this is what we benefited. This is what we enjoyed. We hope that Governor Adeleke will be able to meet up to this expectation, or even do beyond that.
So I would choose to believe that Governor Oyetola probably led the handover note. I'm not sure, because it's almost impossible for a governor to leave that kind of office. No problem. So sometimes I can leave a handover note to you, and as a new governor, I first of all freeze everything. So I understand. Sometimes it's usually the normal practice for anybody to say, you know what, freeze first, let me understand what's going on, and then take from there. But hey,
if there was a proper transition period, you wouldn't need to freeze.
Sometimes if it's within the same party, it's easier. A different party, usually there are other issues that you need to understand first before you then continue. So I can understand the freezing.
They were in court.
They were still trying to see if it might swing.
For me, I just went to see immediately what the internally generated revenue for Osun State with the past governor was, and one of the first things that you see when you check that is that Osun State had increased its IGR from 13.8 billion to 19.6 billion. This was signed by the Auditor General of the state. That's with the just past government. And so I guess for a lot of indigenes of Osun State, these are some of the numbers that they'll be looking at. Do the first 100 days, the first 1 year, the first, term. And I'm hoping, like we have all said here, that because this governor is coming in with a lot of goodwill. And I don't know if it's just because of him as a dancing senator, because he really had that following. He's on the minds of many Nigerians. We don't know many Nigerian politicians by their names, but we know of, Senator Adeleke, now governor, and we know also because of his nephew. And I feel that he should use that goodwill to do the best he can for his state. And he also said that as yesterday when he was inaugurated, he says he's very aware of what the needs of his state is. So he said that he understands that there has to be reforms across education, security, healthcare, infrastructure, local government administration, judiciary. And I guess as we watch him go through his term, we'll see exactly what these reforms he will try to do. Is, constantly we talk about local government administration, what their role should be exactly, what exactly would he do differently, especially when it comes with funds. Everybody from the southwest thinks Lagos is replicated in many southwestern states, but it's not. I hear that many of these southwestern states, you'll be shocked of the level of poverty in those states. They just not enough development in those states. So we hope that with his exposure, with his likability, and hopefully, with just advice here and there, that we will see an improvement.
Let me take this call from Mr. Dedeji. Good morning, are you there? Osun State, you're live.
Good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Atayo is my name. I think Atayo is funny.
Oshogbo, go ahead.
Now, my comment is concerning the former governor and present governor. Governor Oyetola is not bad. The only problem we have with Governor Oyetola is that he promised to pay the money owed the workers, that the workers led to the government. About 30 months half salary. He promised during his campaign, face to face, I was with him, and he told me he's going to pay it because he was my Oga when I was in service and I worked closely with him. God brought him there, and God said he's not going to spend another 4 years. Very simple. He should have accommodated the incoming governor and hand over properly to him. But what I know is that God has the final say in every situation. So whatever he has done, God will reward him for it. And whoever is coming in, we pray that he will borrow a leaf from the mistake of those who have been there and do the needful to make the state better and the citizens happier. God bless you in Jesus' name. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So, Have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Splash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked, and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the part of the show where I really have a lot of fun. Why? I'm highly competitive. I'm not going to ask you regular questions on me. I'm not well. So you're going to be as nuts as I am today, yes?
Ready.
Alrighty. Hey, sorry. Can you put it down here, please? King Dion versus Tony. Oh, thank you. See all the Lee Kuku things you do. They make me. Oh no. Who said this?
I want to every day closer. Girl, I want to make you closer.
Okay.
Oxalating closer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun have you had on the show?
11, 10.
11?
10, yes.
11? Now we're going to terminate the show. Please, my producer, this is where we're cutting it. Cameraman, cut it. Okay, I'm just kidding.
The hottest music videos.
Check it out. Let's go.
Topping the charts. Right here on the Max World Chart Show.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports,
Thanks for staying with us. So time is fast spent. We've been speaking with Honorable Ganiyu Solomon, who is the DG of the Sanw-Olu campaign. You've told us a lot of things that the governor likes to do, or plans hope to do in the second term if he's given the opportunity. I'd like to have the final words on why Nigerians, why Lagosians especially, should vote the APC, considering what we've all said so far, on why people feeling all the issues they have, and why should they trust Governor Sanw-Olu to do better in the coming elections.
Thank you. Most of the issues they raise on the social media are a figment of their imagination. Most are not true. But I'm telling you that with Sanw-Olu, you have a perfect gentleman for the job. And he has done it for 3.5 years, going to 4 years. And I believe that he will do much more, given the opportunity to serve for another 4 years.
So we would like you to extend our invitation to the governor. We've been trying to get him for 3.5 years to come on the show. Hopefully,
he has been so busy.
I'm sure. I see him quite busy. So it's been nice because we try to tell our guests that Nigerians listen to your view. And it's important that because there's so many questions on the Lagos Expressway area. There's so many issues we questions we have. So security issue, we've not asked you. There's so many other issues we would like to raise. So please let your candidate know that we'd definitely like to speak to him at some point.
All right, thank you.
That is all we can take on today's segment of the show. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.